Hey guys, it's MrCrayfish and welcome back to my redstone tutorials. In this tutorial today, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to build a working grill. Now, if you've seen my video, I showcased this grill a couple of days ago and you guys hit the 5,000 likes, so thank you guys so much. If you haven't seen that video, I'd suggest go checking it out. I'll put a card up on the screen right now. But let's go ahead and let's just quickly showcase what this actually is. So we first have to light up the grill here by lighting it underneath with a flint and steel, and then we can chuck our meat on here to actually cook it. And then in a second here, we will get our meat back. It's currently cooking on this hot grill here. As you can see, it's red hot. Oh, look at that. We got our steak back. Oh, that's nice and juicy. I'm kind of a bit hungry now from all this food. Then once all the food has cooked and you want to turn off the grill, we simply just press this button to the left here, and as you can see, the hot plate here is no longer on. It's not red anymore. It's not ready for cooking any meat. So this is what I'm going to be showing you guys how to build today. So the materials that you are going to need is 11 redstone dust, 6 redstone torches, 4 redstone repeaters, 1 redstone comparator, 3 droppers, 2 observer blocks, 8 hoppers, 2 sticky pistons, 1 button of your choice, I've just gotten stone, 2 levers, 1 furnace, 3 slabs of your choice, 2 iron trap doors, 1 activator rail, 1 netherrack, 1 stair of your choice, and then 64 blocks of your choice. So the first thing that we are going to do is dig a 3 wide by 6 long by 3 deep hole. Now where we're actually going to start this is first you want to choose where you're going to put your grill. So my grill is going to go here. Then what we're going to do is go 1 block to the left here, and this is where we're going to start our hole. So dig that block out, and then 2 blocks to the right here, so 1, 2. Then we're going to go 5 towards the back, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 to the left, and then go back to the start. Dig out these center blocks, and then we're going to dig this hole down 2 more layers. Now back at the front here, what we're going to do is dig out these 3 blocks here in the center, and then dig these 2 blocks here, and then 1 more. Get our block of our choice out, and our redstone. Place a block at the back here, redstone on top. Then we're going to place a comparator going into this block. Then get your observer and then place it in front of this redstone here, and then the output should be facing towards the back of us. Then what we're going to do is place a dropper, 3 droppers here going upwards, so jump, crouch, and then right click. And we should end up at the top here. We're going to go back down into the hole here, and we're going to place 4 hoppers going into this bottom dropper here, so crouch, then right click, then we're going to extend it out this way, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to go 1 up on the end here, so jump or crouch first, then jump, then right click. On top of this hopper, we're going to place our furnace. Doesn't really matter which way you place it, just place it on top. Then we're going to have a hopper on top of that, and then we're going to go towards the front with our remaining 2 hoppers. So 1, 2. Now come back down into the hole, and on this first hopper here, we're going to place our netherrack on top of that. So crouch, then right click, leaving 1 space, and then on this hopper here, we're going to place our sticky piston here, facing towards the netherrack here. To the right of the sticky piston, and to the right of this hopper here, place a block, and then we're going to place a torch on top, and the piston should now extend. Behind this block, we're going to lead a repeater into it on a 2-tick delay, so right click it once. Then behind here, we're going to dig out this block, sticky piston facing upwards, block of your choice on top, Then we're going to have a piece of redstone dust here, a block in this back corner, and then a torch on this front face there. And this piston here should now extend up. We're going to go back to the front here, and what we need to do is diagonally up to the left here and the right there, we're going to place 2 blocks, and then underneath we're going to have levers which are turned on, so place them down, then right click them, and that will be just so when we place these iron trapdoors they'll actually be in the open position. I apologise for my voice, you might feel like be hearing it's like really blocked at the moment, so my voice does sound a little bit different at the moment. But next what we're going to do is get 2 slabs here, and we're going to place it to the right of this block here on the top half, and then also 1 more. Redstone on top of those 2 slabs. We're then going to place a block here behind the slab, and then also 1 more. Redstone on this first one here, and then a repeater going towards the back here, and put that into a 2-tick delay, so right click it once. Initially that's a 1 and now that's a 2. This redstone over here, we're going to lead that into a block, and then on either side of this block we're going to have redstone torches. On top of the redstone torches we're going to place blocks. Come around here, and what we're going to do is place a block in front of this torch here. Redstone repeater on the top, facing away from this block, and then lead that into a block here. Coming back to this other one, we're going to place a block to the side of it, redstone on top of that, and then a torch on this side. Actually, before we do that, let's place a block on top of this redstone here, and then place redstone torch right there. Now let's get this observer block, and what we need to do is place it on top of the piston head here, and the output should be facing towards the back. That face there should be facing into that netherrack. Then we're going to put a block behind the observer here, like that. On top here, what we're going to do is lead redstone up here. We're going to place 2 of our blocks of choice on these hoppers there, 1 redstone here, and then a repeater there. To the right of these hoppers, we're going to place 2 blocks there, and then 2 redstone. And then finally this last piece of redstone, we should have placed it before, but it's got to go on top of this block down here, which has that redstone torch on the front face of it. Now coming back to the front here, what we're going to do is get our block of choice here. We're going to fill in, we'll place 1 to the left of this hopper here, 2 blocks on top like that. Here we're going to place our stair here upside down, and then we're going to place a block on top of that stair. Put your redstone torch on the front face, and then on this left block here, this block to the left of this stair here, place your button. Now let's go ahead and let's build the grill, so this should be pretty simple. So we're going to place a half slab in front of this hopper here on the top half of the block. Then we're going to place our iron trapdoors on the side here, and they should automatically be in the open position because we put those levers under those blocks there. Then we're going to place our activator rail, and hopefully this is facing in the right direction. Otherwise we can fix it up. Now this is the correct position, but if yours is actually facing in the what direction is this, west and east direction, so instead of this way it's going that way, simply you just want to destroy this trapdoor here, place another block, then place another rail on there, and then that will put it in the right direction. Then you can just destroy the block and the rail and then replace the trapdoor there so it goes across long ways, not vertical ways. Now this wasn't included on the materials list because you don't really need it to build the structure, but you're finally going to have to place some coal into the furnace here. So just open that up, then place the coal in there. That should last a while. This shouldn't really be used for like mass production. This just should be used for if you need to cook something real quickly, you can chuck that in. Now it's that point in the tutorial where I'm going to teach you guys how this actually works. So let's start by doing the whole process of using the grill. So we first start by lighting the fire underneath it. So we light up that nether rack, which because the fire has just been placed there, the observer block will actually detect that. So it sends out a signal into it, and let's just go ahead and open this up now. So it sends out a signal into this block here, which it powers this redstone. This sends out a signal into this repeater, powering this redstone here. Now this redstone here will actually stay on because we have an RS NOR latch. So how this RS NOR latch is actually working is we're powering this redstone here, and on this block here, if you remember, on this side, we've actually got torches here. So this one here specifically, when that redstone is turned on, it's going to turn off this redstone torch, which turns off this redstone here, allowing this torch to come on. So you can imagine this torch is on, this redstone's on, and that torch is off. That's always going to be on. So that is going to stay on, and that's pretty much saying that the grill is actually turned on now. So as well as this redstone here being off because of that torch, this unpowers all that, unpowers that repeater, and allows this torch to come on, which just indicates, which basically turns on this activator rail and mimics a hot plate being hot because it looks all red. So as per the function of the grill here, it actually has to be hot before you can put items into it. So this is just simply powering this block here, which stops items being put into the hopper. So once the grill is hot, we can go ahead and throw items in. Those items go into this hopper here. You can't really see it too well, but it's traveling into this furnace from the top. It gets placed into the top slot here. When anything's cooked, it gets placed into this slot, which the item hopper here underneath will actually pull it out and bring it to these droppers at the front here. A cool trick I found with these droppers here is when we actually put an item into this bottom dropper here, what we can do is detect if there's an item in there. That comparator will send out a signal if there is. That will then turn on this redstone, triggering this observer block to send out a signal to these droppers. Now when it turns off, it will also send out another signal, which actually allows it to travel up 3 droppers here and get shot out to the player at the top here, which is pretty cool, and it's a very easy design to create an item elevator here. That's all it is right in front of me. So that's what happens when it cooks. Now when we actually press this button here and turn it off, this is actually how you turn off the RS NOR latch. We've actually got to turn off this torch here, which is keeping this signal on. So we simply power this up, it turns that off, allows this redstone torch here to come back on. That turns off the hot plate, so this will go back to this unpowered state. This redstone here will turn off, allowing this torch here to come back on. And now under here we actually have a monostable circuit, so this will send out a quick pulse of redstone. This specifically turns off this torch here, then turns it back on, which resets the flame underneath. Yeah, this torch here powers that piston, so you can imagine when that turns off, the piston will retract. When it turns back on, the piston will extend again. So hopefully you understood my explanation there of how this works. So let's go ahead and let's just quickly test this out. So let's light it up. Grill is on, so I can throw our meat onto the grill here. We should then start seeing the items come back to us in a second once they've been cooked. But if you guys enjoyed this tutorial today, make sure you go ahead and snap that like button. If you have any ideas for redstone tutorials, let me know down in the comments below, and subscribe to keep up to with all my latest redstone tutorials. I also suggest you go ahead and press that post notification button as well, so you don't miss out on any redstone tutorials I do post. And I will see you guys later. Bye!